Hello, Max here. I'm very excited to be bringing you a review of the DC Superhero Girls Batgirl and the Batcycle. This set looks really cool. I like the way she's posed on the bike in the box and the way the bike is slanted for a dynamic view on the road. It looks really cool there. It says it also has a ring for you. Just a quick look at the back of the box before I get her out. It says the wheels really roll. Another nice image of her riding the bike. Just as a little side note to this review of the Batgirl with the Batcycle, while we're moving Batgirl and the Batcycle, the backdrop and the box display stays relatively nice. This is a rarity in doll boxes and playsets. It's usually so tied down that the cardboard gets ripped, but it's easily removable. And if you're into doll photography, like to take pictures or want a nice display, this is something that you can keep. It's relatively sturdy. Just a little side note there. Now let's move on to the bike review itself and then the doll. This bike is awesome. Look at the great details, very colorful, nice quality plastics. Here it is with the kickstand up. You take the kickstand back, and it's still very sturdy. The pedals here keep it from falling over. It rolls pretty nice. The wheels move. Nice seat there. This will hold your doll in place. The Batgirl logo. The Batgirl logo there. I like the paint details on the plastic. Sometimes there's some missing paint details, but this has everything you want, I think. The front with the Batgirl symbol. A purple crystal in the middle of it. And it's on both sides. That's also a great sign. A lot of chrome detail here. Very impressed with this bike. Now let's take a look at Batgirl that comes with this set. And as usual with major doll and toy releases, when there's a playset or a vehicle, the doll manufacturer usually makes a more basic doll, and that's what we're getting here. This Batgirl has a different type of articulation than a regular signature doll, and that is a downside to me, because what made the original DC Supergirl signature dolls special is their action dolls. So I would like the playset doll to mirror what you get in a normal release, and you're missing some of the elbow. Now this moves here, but it's not as special, and you're going to miss some of the more dynamic posing you could get and play with a regular doll. It also is missing a chest joint here, which the normal DC Supergirl signature dolls do have. There is a nice bold yellow bat symbol, which I like. And these big yellow boots that are also molded on. But here is where I have a major problem with this specific doll. The rooted hair is very thin. Look at that. There's big gaps. This is probably to save costs on the doll. And maybe because she's wearing a helmet. But it feels very thin and cheap. What's there is nice quality, but not so much on the hair. I think that's a big downside to this specific doll. Okay, now let's take a look at the Batcycle helmet. And this may be part of the reason that they skimped on the hair and made it thinner. I still think it should be quality and as nice as a regular release hair, but here we go. Let's put the helmet on. And I do think immediately she looks a lot better with the helmet on. She also comes with a backpack that fits in when she's riding the Batcycle. So that's something that you're only gonna get the effect with this doll and not the signature one, but I will try the signature later. I'm gonna pause here and put her on the bike. Okay, two interesting things happened while setting up this Batgirl on the Batcycle to continue with this review. There is a lot of hair falling out, and I haven't. This doll has been out of the box maybe 10 minutes, and I'm not even playing with her. I am trying to get her on the bike for review. So I think the doll hair quality is really showing. If this much is falling out, it's not a strand or two. There's chunks falling out. It's really not rooted that well, and there's not a lot of it. So please consider that. Maybe I have a bad doll out of a batch, but be on the lookout for that. And then I originally thought this is going to be nice to keep the doll on the bike, but it's actually preventing her from looking nice, holding the bars and putting her feet in place. I've tried so many times to get her feet there and her arms on. Because of the missing joint here in the chest that regular DC Supergirl dolls have, I think it's preventing her from looking really nice and a more dynamic pose for play and photos on this bike. So that's also something to consider. She looks okay, but I really want to get a comparison with a normal Batgirl to see if she fares better on this bike. Okay, I'm back. I tried it once off camera just to see if it works, and it does. It's a little bit of a tighter fit, but I'll show you now on camera how she looks. You just got to be careful because she has a little bit more hair and she has another eye mask that the Playset doll does not. But here she goes with the helmet on. Now I'm going to pause here and get her all set up on the bike. Okay, here's the signature version of Batgirl on the bike, and this is where articulation does matter. For an action doll with an action playset with a bike, look how much that chest piece articulation point matters. She can bend forward a little bit. Now, if this wasn't here, it wouldn't be such an issue for the basic doll, but because it is, it does matter. She can actually get closer and grip the handles better while having her feet securely on the pedal. This hand here actually has a grip. The right hand on the doll has a grip that goes perfect for the handlebar. This one is still resting nice. I think this bike goes a lot better with a regular doll than the playset doll. And that's a point worth thinking about when deciding how you feel about this bike. Okay, now for my final overall thoughts, recommendations, and score for this Batgirl with the Batcycle playset. This bike is amazing. It's a really nice vehicle for a doll. It comes with an awesome helmet, but the doll does not fit that well. There's some issues with the quality of the doll's hair, and the missing articulation does matter in this case because it's not impossible to get her posed on the bike, but it's not natural fit, whereas the normal release doll has a lot easier time holding the handlebars and her joint movement for displaying her feet on the pedals. So I think it's worth noting, and it brings down the score slightly. So I'd say 4 out of 5. If it did not have this doll and just the bike and the helmet, the price point may be a little bit lower if it didn't include that, and I don't think this doll is needed. I really hope that some of the points I went over in this review helped you. I appreciate you all watching. I want you all to have a great day. Bye.